Hello and welcome to Fifth and Grace. Today we are exploring the energies of the harvest moon on September 17th that will also go into the 18th as well. And we know the energy of a full moon lasts for a few days. So if you're not watching this at exactly the right moment, don't worry, just enjoy it and tap into that energy. It will last for a little while. The harvest full moon is in Pisces this year. And as we step into the energy of the harvest moon, we're given a powerful opportunity to reflect, release, and realign. This is the perfect time of year for that too. The full moon is in mystical Pisces, amplifying our intuition and emotional depths. Pisces is a water sign known for its connection to dreams, creativity, and the spiritual realm, making this the perfect time to tune into your inner wisdom and trust your instincts. This harvest moon marks a time of abundance, fruition, and completion. Just as the farmers reap the rewards of their hard work during harvest season, this moon invites us to reflect on what we've been cultivating in our own lives. What seeds have you planted, and what have you nourished since the start of the year? Now is the time to celebrate your personal growth, acknowledge your achievements, and release anything that no longer serves you as we prepare for the new season ahead. My name is Avril, and I am delighted to join you on this journey today. If we're old friends, thank you for joining me again. If we're new friends, welcome to my world. I'm excited to get to know you. Please be sure to click the subscribe button so you never miss a thing. Tap the thumbs up, and anytime you see a heart, let's get in there too, because we're all about love here at Fifth and Grace. I am a professional tarot reader, meditation guide, healer, past life coach, tapping enthusiast, and spiritual coach. I help you achieve your extraordinary life through all of these modalities and more. I specialize in helping you move towards your dream life without the fluff and BS you find in so many other places. Whether you're looking for clarity in your relationships, guidance in your career, or a deeper understanding of your life's purpose, I'm here to provide the insights and support you need. My readings and sessions are designed to empower you, help you overcome obstacles, and unlock your full potential. Every video on this channel is crafted with the intention of inspiring you towards the life you desire. We explore tarot readings for current events, dive into meditations that soothe the soul, and offer practical tips for spiritual growth and healing. Don't forget to check out the description below for all of my links and my email so you can easily reach out to book a session with me. I am here to support you every step of the way. So let's embark on this transformative journey together. Subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and let's make magic happen. And also, if you're experiencing magic, let me know in the comments. I do reply to everyone. So today we are once again working with the Crow Tarot, as this is the deck I chose for September. And I'm getting a little better at shuffling this deck as it is a little big for my hands. This is the full-size deck, and I have tiny little hands, so I usually buy pocket-sized tarot cards, tarot decks, so that they fit in my hands a little easier. I don't have another deck here handy to see. Look at the difference between this deck and this deck. That's a big difference when you have tiny hands. So we're just inviting Spirit now to come in and join us as I shuffle the deck. I hope you're having a beautiful September. Don't forget to go back through my videos and check out my September energies tarot reading as well, as this is for the full moon, but I did do one at the first of the month, just on what should be coming up for everybody. This month, I also did a card for the collectives already. I've did a little TED talk on boundaries. Boundaries are a big one. So go read that, and you'll probably have some things to say about it. And I can't wait to hear them. And I've just also released a wealth activation for you to enjoy anytime you want, and create those neural pathways in your brain that will guide you towards all the wealth you desire and the life of your dreams. So I have shuffled the deck, And now we're going to check out the energies around this harvest full moon in Pisces, September 17th and 18th, plus a little bit of energy going beyond that. And I'll just grab this. Definitely wanted me to pick it. The Emperor. Ooh, yeah. And the Knight of Cups and the Hermit. My goodness. Woo-wee. Okay, so the Emperor. This is our alpha. This is our alpha dog. This is our big, strong man. Whenever I see this card come out, it is an indication that somebody is dealing with a big, strong bear of a man, alpha male, or they desire an alpha male, or they need to be the alpha in their life. They need to boss up and start taking control of their own life. So if this is you, this could be you're dealing with an alpha, or you need to be the alpha, or you are being the alpha. And that's a great sign, because I'm noticing in the world, a lot of women are, they're out there promoting the products and the services that they provide, but they're not actually effectively running a business. They're not selling. I've had an experience many times where I've actually tried to buy something from someone and they just won't. They won't participate. And it's always really, really interesting. Like, I'll say, oh my gosh, I really need this thing that you're selling. And then they're like, yeah, it's so awesome. And I'm like, okay, yeah, so how do I get it? And they're like, oh my God, you're going to love it. And I'm like, okay, but how do I buy it? And they're like, oh yeah, oh my gosh, it changed my life. And I'm like, okay, you're not actually selling me the product. It's like, close the deal, wrap it up, send me the link, tell me how to pay for it. So this is time to boss up. This is time to say, what would a alpha boss type of person do in a situation? And I've always loved that big speech Alec Baldwin made in that movie. I can't remember what it's called, but it's always be closing. And then there was that kids movie, I think it was called Boss Baby, and the line in Boss Babies are cookies are for closers. So just remember that, always be closing. If you're running a business, close the deal. Close the deal. If you are looking for love, this may be who you're looking for. Our big Emperor male, definitely I'm not going to say it's a man necessarily, but definitely a lot of masculine energy. This is boss energy. This is the guy that gets things done. So if you are trying to get things done, this is the energy you want to tap into right now. And this is a perfect time of year for it. As we're switching season, we're going into such an exciting time of the year with all different holidays coming up, the witchy holidays, the traditional holidays, all of the things that you can be using to expand your business and tap into exciting opportunities that are coming up. So if you have not been planting seeds that you can harvest now, let's start getting those seeds planted. Okay, that's the big message for you. This is a builder. This is masculine energy. This is focused. This is about creating and having structure. This is very much a spicy, hot energy like Aries. This is someone who gets up, shoots out of bed, and gets on with the day. So if you feel that maybe you haven't been doing that for yourself lately, here's your message to do that. Set an alarm, get up an hour early and hit the ground running, get as much business stuff done as you can during the day. And then you can actually relax a little bit. I love getting up early. I get things done first thing in the morning. Between 6 and 9 a.m. is my time to crank out a lot of content, get a lot of posts up, my social planning, things like that. So definitely this is a strong message for that. I always seem to talk a lot on the first card because I think that's the card that really sets the tone for everything. If you don't run a business, but this is now I'm going to turn to the moms here and the dads too. Like, this is a great message of how to boss up in your family, because parenting mothering and fathering is actually it's very masculine energy. People think being a mother is so feminine. No, it's not. It's very, very masculine energy, because as a mom, we tend to be the boss of our household. If you're a household run by a father, again, the boss of the household. And so this could also be a tremendous message to you: get your house in order, because it's just going to get more and more out of control as the months go speeding towards the Christmas holidays. And this is the time to get your house in order, wash all the Tupperware, start meal prepping, plan your life, catch up on all the laundry, do all the things that you need to do to create the beautiful house of your life that you desire. So a lot going on there in that card. Of course, it's a major arcana card, so there's always going to be a lot to say. And it's about stability. And stability is self-care. When we take care of our stuff, our shiz, that's self-care. And in fact, even in the wealth activation, I'm going to tag it. I'm going to link it in the description. The wealth activation I just did, one of the affirmations talks about, taking care of my finances is self-care. Because when you can sleep at night, because you've got your finances and your house and your metaphorical house and your physical house under control, it's easier to sleep at night. And that is self-care. Taking care of things that provide you peace is self-care. So, okay, we're going to move on. Our Knight of Cups. I'm actually going to look up the timing of this card. I'd be curious to see if it's something coming up now. Of course, our cups are about our emotions and our feelings. They catch our tears, definitely. And the Knight of Cups is not connected to any specific time, but we do know that our knights are always that giddy up energy. And this message coming through right now is that whatever emotional stuff you've not been dealing with, which may be holding you back here in this area, deal with it. Process it, deal with it. If you need help with that, get in touch with me. We'll talk it through. We'll set up a session for you. I feel like what my guides are telling me, somebody needs some tapping to help them process their emotions. So by all means, get in touch with me, set up a tapping session, and I'll create some scripts based on your actual situation that you can carry forward for the rest of the year. And, but there is definitely somebody who is feeling a bit stuck in their emotions, and you just need to get on with dealing with it. And believe me, I know the temptation to just put things in a box and put them in the attic of my mind and pretend they don't exist and it's not happening. Not necessarily the healthiest thing in the world, because if you don't deal with something intentionally, when you're going through an emotional time or emotional experience or some grief or frustration or heartbreak or anything like that, if you don't deal with it intentionally, it will deal with you when it feels like it. When it erupts, it will deal with you. And that often looks like crying on the bathroom floor. So let's not get ourselves there. This is a great indication that, there's some emotional stuff going on that really needs to be dealt with. And this is the time to giddy up and get on with that. And of course, we have our Hermit. Our Hermit is, I've got two things coming through right now with our Hermit. I'm going to start with the obvious one. This is the season of darkness. We're coming into the season of rest and rejuvenation. This is the time of year when we sleep more, we eat more, we rest more, we go inside. This is the time of year for our shadow work. This is the time of year for releasing and forgiving and letting things go. And our Hermit is always, always, always telling you this is what needs to be done, that you do need to take the time. I'm going to bet that whatever happens here with our Knight of Cups, that whatever processing of emotions, we're going to need some internal rest afterwards. But all of us should be turning inwards now if we're in the northern hemisphere, I should specify that. If you're in the southern hemisphere and it's now spring, you got a whole other set of things going on because you need to welcome the flowers and the birds and the sunshine. And that's a whole other kind of transition. But we're speaking specifically about the northern hemisphere. That's where I live. That's where most of my followers live. And you know what I might actually do is I might do some Southern Hemisphere work later on and just see if we can tap into that energy for, especially for our Australian friends and our New Zealand friends who love the tarot and all the mystics. So the other thing that comes through for our Hermit is this card is specifically connected to the month of August. So whenever I see this card come up for somebody, I will say, what happened in August that made you retreat? What happened that you've had to go back to your cave to lick your wounds? What has made you pull back? It's something in August, definitely, for this card. So if this is you, please let me know in the comments what has happened, or at least give me a hint, or just say, yep, it happened in August, and let me know that this is for you. But our Hermit is, in fact, the only card of the tarot who carries his own light. And it's in just about every deck I've seen. We can see right here, our crow is carrying his own light there. And this to me has always been a message of self-leadership and being heart-led, that whatever it is that you're doing, you need to do it alone. You need to deal with whatever has happened. You need to deal with yourself. Most importantly, when we deal with ourselves, everybody else becomes so much easier, because then we're not so easily triggered and we're not getting upset about things that, you know, maybe have nothing to do with us. So definitely deal with yourself. You can do some shadow work. This is the perfect time of year for shadow work. I love shadow work. And if you don't know what it is, the most simple way of putting it is that shadow work is when we deal with the darkest parts of ourselves, that part that we might not say out loud, those dark, nasty thoughts, those dark, nasty feelings, our shame, our guilt, all those sorts of things. We all do it. I do as well, which is why I do shadow work. I love it. And I can tell you that it has changed my life dramatically, because I can take what is happening right now in this moment and connect it to a moment in the past, deal with that moment in the past, forgive myself or forgive the other person, and then I can come back and release all those feelings that were holding me back and actually creating repeating patterns in my life now. There have been things that happened 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago. In fact, there was something that happened 26 years ago in my life that I managed to connect to what was going on in my life right now, because what I did in the past, I was experiencing with other people now. They were doing it, and I was having to deal with them doing exactly something that I had done when I was not at my best. I was not my best self. I wasn't healthy physically. I wasn't healthy mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And I was not doing what I would call my best now. I was doing the best I could at the time, which is something that's the shadow work, is saying, you know what? I was doing the very best I could at that time, and I had to forgive myself. But it was when I started exploring the shadow, I managed to make that connection. And then I could release the energy around that I had been carrying with me, the shame and the guilt and everything, of something that I did that, you know, like, listen, I didn't commit any crimes or anything, but I really, really, really dramatically let someone down. I was 27 years old. I was ill-equipped for real life, and I let someone down in a massive way. And it ended a very, very long friendship. It ended a 20-year friendship at that point. And so but then I saw that other people were letting me down all the time. And then I made the connection between the two things, and I was able to start releasing things. So big, long explanation of what shadow work is, plus an example, but this is really, really important work that we do when we hermit. And yes, I just used hermit as a verb. But it's definitely about leading ourselves through our sludge, leading ourselves through our past and through the darkest parts of ourselves to help release them, recognize we were doing the best we could be doing at that time. And even though we would do better now, we could not back then. So it's not fair for us to judge ourselves in the past by who we are now. So we must forgive ourselves for whatever it is we did in the past in order to clear up some darkness within ourselves. So that's a big, long, these major arcana cards always become a big, long conversation. And it's funny because I said to my tarot master not long ago, there is no 3-card reading that I can't make last 2 hours. So yeah, chatterbox here. And I'm a preacher too, which is like the perfect job. Captive audiences and me with something to say. So yes, there you go. You just learned something more about me. I'm actually a minister, and I'm a metaphysical minister, and I do a lot of weddings and funerals. Plus I do coaching as well, which is part of ministry. And of course, a lot of my coaching sort of stems from tarot readings where themes are coming up, and then I can help people further in a way that actually feels good and feels right, because it's very much aligned with whatever it was we were talking about. Most tarot readers I find just kind of leave you hanging at the end, and if you want more clarity, you pay again. But I really don't like operating that way. I would rather work with somebody on a specific issue or problem or situation, and then give them tools afterwards to help them move forward and deal with some of the stuff that we talked about. So anyway, let's pull a couple more cards and see what's coming up. But definitely hermit, no surprise to see this. This is the time that we should be resting, dealing with ourselves, doing the dark shadow work, exploring ourselves, and being heart-led. Lead your way through with your own heart energy and with your own inner light. That's why he's the only card in the tarot that has his own light. Because he doesn't need external validation. He doesn't need external spotlights, anything like that. He can lead himself through whatever it is, and maybe with some help from a mystic or a guide or a coach. But certainly this is about leaning inwards and doing your own work to lead yourself through the rest of the year. Woo! All right, let's go. We have the 6 of Wands. I know, we started off talking about the planting the seeds and the harvest, and I really think this speaks very much to that. I know this time of year, so many people I know are talking about just the struggle, the day-to-day struggle. People are asking business owners, how are you doing? And they're saying not great. This is a message of perseverance. Just keep going, just keep swimming, keep doing what you're doing. Our 6s are always going to be about persevering. And our Wands, of course, are our actions, our spirit, how we live, how we move. Just keep going. I really, really, truly believe that if we just keep our heads down and keep going and keep plugging along, things will turn around. It has to. Of course, we've got the shopping season coming up. So this is a great time to start putting out offers and start thinking about what you might be able to offer your audience and your people as Christmas gifts, things like that, and also as things that for themselves to take into the new year and through this season of darkness. But definitely this is about persevering, especially if you are in business. If you're not, again, the message is the same. Just keep going. I know it feels really challenging right now, but even something as simple as gas prices, I saw go down dramatically this week. I mean, what a relief at the gas pumps. I saw up at the Reserve, not far from me, it was like 121 for a liter of gas. For those of you outside of Canada, I don't know what that means. I don't know what gallons are. I think there's about 4 liters in a gallon. So we're looking at, $5 to $6 a gallon, I guess, for our American friends. But I saw it was 121 a liter. So that was pretty exciting. In town, I saw it was about 140 a liter. So things right now are starting to kind of level out a little bit. I have said all this year, we're going to have a fall election, which I think will improve things a lot. Um, Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Let's not get too political here. I don't know how my audience feels about politics, so I don't tend to talk about them very much. But certainly there is definitely a message of perseverance. Just keep going. Just keep doing what you're doing. It is working. The seeds you're planting, they are working, even if it doesn't feel like it. And just keep going. Don't give up is the big message here. And then we have the death card, and everybody freaks out when we see this card. The death card doesn't mean death. It means basically just transformation, really. And it's actually, I love seeing this card. It is connected to Scorpio season, our spicy little Scorpio friends. It is, the dates are October 23rd to November 22nd. So I think that if we just keep going here, we are going to see some transformations happening. It can be physical, emotional, spiritual, financial. There's all kinds of ways we can be transforming, and there is definitely something coming to an end, but it's not a dramatic change. This whole, I mean, look at this card. It looks so dramatic. But it's not a dramatic change. It's just one of those things that it'll feel like a normal change in life. It's not going to turn your life upside down. It's just, you're just going to notice, oh yeah, things took a turn. And that could be for the better. Sometimes when we think things are changing for the worse, they're actually just changing for our best good, for our highest good. So it's important to kind of stay neutral about things, but definitely there's some liberation coming up. That's a big word coming through right now. And at the end of a chapter, something's going to come to an end that will free you to move forward. That just popped in. My guides are on fire today. They're actually a little more chatty than I am, so they're on fire today. And you want to remember that whatever transition you're making, whatever transformation, whatever chapter is coming to an end, and then, things are changing in another direction and you're moving forward, don't bring your baggage with you. Don't bring all your garbage with you. Leave that behind, okay? Because it's not going to serve you in the next phase of life. If we keep doing what we've always been doing, we're just going to stay where we are. When we want to move forward, we have to be prepared to release things. And that could be people, that could be things, that could be thoughts, that could be feelings, could be all kinds of things. But definitely at this time of year, let's go right back to our harvest moon. Definitely, as I said, it's a time of release and realignment. So there's our death card right there, reminding us of that. And if you've been going through a difficult period, you know what? Somebody just popped into my mind. One of my clients just popped into my mind. So I'm not going to say who it is, but they are an artist local to me. So if you're listening to this, there is definitely a message for you here that a really difficult period is coming to a close and the weight will be taken off your shoulders. So if that's you, please let me know. You can comment here if you feel comfortable with that, or if you don't, just send me a little message. Yeah, my guides they're saying to me, when one door closes, another door opens. So it is going to be a change. Something's coming to a close for you. And of course, this is a message for everyone, but very much my guides wanted me to make sure that this one specific person did also receive this message. So I'll definitely send this to them when it's up. So yeah, that's, whew. I've never had that happen in a YouTube video where they're like, no, this is this is one specific person really needs to hear this. So as much as everybody needs to hear it, there's one specific person, and they actually told me who that is. So that was kind of interesting there. Thank you for playing along with me and tolerating that, because even though this is a message for all of you and all of us, sometimes there's things that are really coming through for one person. So that's definitely a strong message there. Don't be afraid of this change, whatever's coming to a close. It is actually going to open up so many better things for you, and that's pretty exciting. And like I said, we're looking at October 23rd to November 22nd. And our final card, the Moon, one of my favorite cards, actually. Again, telling us to do shadow work. Absolutely do shadow work. This is, the Moon is about shadow. So interesting that we've got the Hermit and the Moon. Some interesting major arcana cards here today. We've got 4 of them, and they're really tying into each other nicely. This is about, the Moon is about mysterious paths and hidden paths. It's also reminding us to keep an eye out for coincidences and synchronicities. This is telling you to pay attention to the mystical. The Moon is very spiritual. It's tying in with our Death card here. It is a great reminder to let the fates decide what will happen. It's not up to you to control what will happen next. Just get yourself into a state of flow and allow things to unfold. This is not the time to be trying to control things, because there is definitely an energy of trying to, like, fighting, control, hanging on. This is letting us know that when we're going through this transformation, just let things flow. Just let things unfold. Don't be attached to any kind of outcome, and just see what happens, because that's where the magic lies. When we just let things unfold and whatever happens, happens, it's amazing what does happen. And it's certainly a very magical way of life to just see how things go and what happens. And it opens us up to so many possibilities that we might not have if we're constantly trying to control the situation. So there's another message here that there is a big synchronistic coincidence that is coming up. So if that happens, please come back and let me know. If you see something that blows your mind and you're like, oh my gosh, that's my sign, or I keep seeing the same numbers over and over, or whatever it is, you know, just pick something and see what happens. You know, this will be a reminder for you. So when you see that synchronicity out there and that big coincidence out there, come back and think about the magic of this card and what it's trying to tell you, and where you should be going with that. There is also some deception and mystery connected, because it is about hidden paths. It is about things we don't know, the dark side of the Moon, the shadow, all of these things. So if you're following along, you may realize that somebody's tried to deceive you at some point, or that there's a mystery that needs to be solved. Oh, my candle, and my candle just went out just as I was talking about that. Oh, thank you, Spirit. Thank you. But we definitely want to be paying attention to changing paths, new paths that are opening up because what I'm seeing here, I'm going to put these 3 cards. These are the 3 that are really telling the story here. The Hermit, the time to heal, the retreat, the transformation, and then the new paths that we know nothing about. Lean into it, take care of yourself through it. And like I said, if you need some support as you're going through some of these things, just let me know. I do one-on-one sessions all the time with my clients, and they are all custom. specific to the needs of each person. So there's no fitting you into a box. I work around your needs. So definitely get in touch. Please leave a comment and let me know what you think. I don't know how many times I've said that today, but if y'all could start leaving comments, that would be really, really nice. I'm working hard to grow my channel. And I'm just really, really loving this work here that we're doing. And I love being connected with all of you. Thank you for being here. I look forward to chatting with you as the weeks go on through our autumn season and through this moon cycle. Keep in touch. Let me know, subscribe, tap the thumbs up, and leave a comment. With love and light, have the most magical